Hello, everybody. Nismo D21 checking in, and this is potentially the future Nismo D21 studio. I've been unpacking. You can see I got a lot of service manuals going on here. Stuff from my past, stuff from when I was in school, and just trinkets that I've collected along the way. So I'm sorry, 2 weeks is a long time to go. I guess I do pretty much average about a new video every 2 weeks, so I don't want to miss anything. Saturday night I'm going to be over at the other shop, working on the white Pathfinder a little bit. I'm currently trying to fix some wiring that was done on the fuel sending unit that was very subpar, and I don't know how successful I'm going to be because somebody broke one of the plastic clips that holds the wire onto. There's like 4 lugs, like copper lugs there on the top of the sending unit, and one of the clips is broken off, and somebody had just taken a wire and just wrapped it around one of those lugs and just left it there. So in my attempt to fix it, I was trying to solder it back on. I tried, the liquid steel stuff, and nothing seems to be working. So I gotta fix that. And they also ran a ground to the actual mounting bolt on the sending unit, and then just wrapped the wire around the bolt. So I actually soldered in, shrunk wrapped an actual eyelet, but it forced me to have to get a slightly longer bolt to mount it. So I had to run out and get M5 bolts, because that's what Nissan decides to use for their sending units is M5. So I found some M5 bolts. We'll see how that goes on Saturday. Anyways, I can't stress enough, based on my experience over the last 10 plus years of being a D21 owner, I can't stress enough how useful and sometimes fruitful it is to just go out to your local you-pull-it junkyard. I mean, some areas have more D21s than others, but as a D21 owner, I think having a stash of spares is very important. And in the process of finding parts to, potential parts that you may end up replacing, like I grab relays, I grab wiper arms, I grab, plastic clips. I grab those little things all the time when I'm out in the yard if I find something good. Or if I find a better piece than what's on the truck now, I'll grab that. Like a door panel or a center console lid or something like that. They're out there. So, my close friend, whose shop is where I've been working out of for the last couple of years now, him and I really started going out to junkyards about 7 years ago, and I had been going to junkyards prior to that. He had been going to junkyards prior to that, but we became friends and just started going to junkyards. And we have a list of places that we go. We've got some favorites, and then we got some that we go, a couple times a year, then a couple we go once a year or whatnot. But there was a new yard that opened up south of us that is part of a network of other you-pull-it yards that we visit. So we heard that they had like 1,000 cars, and they did. They had a ton of cars. So we went down there last Sunday, and I wasn't really expecting to really buy anything. I was looking around. If there was a couple interior pieces that I needed, I'd grab it. And there's a few other things I have on my checklist that if they're there and the price is right, obviously I'd make the effort to grab it. But I just was browsing. I had no idea what I was looking for or if I was going to even find anything. So we walked around. We were there for probably about 3.5 hours. And I'll tell you what, my favorite you-pull-it yards are the ones that are not entirely organized, not like inefficiently run, but if you put all the Nissans in one area and you just going to go and look at Nissans, you end up just like when you go to the grocery store. You run in, you go straight to that aisle, you buy what you need to buy, and then you leave. You may walk around a little bit, but you're not forced to walk around and experience the full yard if you don't want to. So we went down to this yard, and they are planning on organizing it. They just got bought out, so they have new ownership, but they're planning on organizing it. But while we were there, it wasn't organized, so you never knew. You were going to see a Ford F-150 next to a Mazda Protege, next to a Ford Taurus, next to a Dodge Nitro. You know, you're going to see that kind of progression. But in doing so, it forced you to walk down every aisle, and we found some interesting stuff. And we definitely scored. I'll tell you, I scored. These are pretty good, because I always what I scored here. I'll tell you honestly, I try to talk people out of buying new, even used, because there's so much more you can spend your money on and stuff. And I understand that people are going for the look. A lot of times they want a particular look. They want the truck to look sporty. They want it to look like it's turboed, or, you know, everybody has a reason. And I don't blame them, because, you know, hey, if you got an idea in your head and you're building it, this, you know, and this is the look you want, this is what you get. The problem lies in the fact that the company that builds this is so expensive. I understand it's custom work. I mean, now that I look at it a little closely in person, I can tell that there's a design to it. There's time put into it. It's not like it's just a pressed out piece of plastic or whatever. It does have craftsmanship and welding on it and everything. But for what it actually brings you in terms of performance upgrades, it's like not worth it at all. It's not. If you go back a bunch of videos, like 3-4 years ago, I did a video called the OEM Poor Man's Cold Air Intake, where you can go, and if you find a 96 or 97, you know, I think it's a federal spec truck. I'm not sure if it's Fed or California spec, because I haven't seen every single one of these have this. But if you go and you find one, there's a cold air intake. The trucks come with a factory cold air intake. You can swap them to be a cold air intake. Even with the resonator box, they have a cold air intake. This thing is kind of more of like a really pretty warm air intake. So I don't really see the entire advantage of going from a factory cold air intake to a $200 plus warm air intake, unless you really, really want the look, or you do something with the piping, and you know, you can repurpose it to be a turbo manifold or turbo plenum of some kind. You know, you can definitely do that with this thing. So, well, enough of my yap. I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about here. This camera. This is a Weapon R intake off of a 1997 1997 D21 that was in the pullet yard that we went down to. This was completely installed. It was on a 4-cylinder, so I took it right off of exactly what I have, except for it being an OBD2 truck. It doesn't matter. They still fit the same. This is why you go to pullet yards, everybody. $20. That's what I paid for that. And that was with the cone filter, which needs to be replaced, but everything that you see here. And I don't know if anyone's really like showing anybody up close. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna flip this camera around for one. Yeah, this is what the Weapon R looks like up close. I'm gonna try and do this. We're in selfie mode, so it's kind of tough. But replaces the air box where the air filter sits in. Obviously, I'm going to have to source some hardware here to compensate for those. Then you get this long tube here with a mount, which somebody really mangled this mount. And then the cone filter right here at the end. And a couple rubber boots. So you got a boot here and you got a boot here. So that is a Weapon R that I found at the Junkyard on a 1997. So it pays to pop open hoods. I found a BMW in there that I popped the hood and didn't even think about it. I'm not really a BMW guy, but for some reason I was compelled to walk over to this BMW and pop the hood open, and found a Oops, sorry. It's just my dog. Anyways, I popped the hood and I found a either a 4.8 or a 5.3 LS sitting inside that was like not even swapped. It was just dropped in there and stuff. But you know, there it was. You know, kind of wild stuff. So go to these yards, pay the buck, pay the $2 or whatever, and just walk around. Some of these you pull at yards will actually put you on a mailing list, so you can list what vehicles you want to see, and they'll send you an email when they get something that falls within that year and model range. So I've got a couple places that email me those things, because I not only look at D21 hardbodies, but I look all the way back into the 620s if there's something out there like that, and I look all the way forward to the up to 2004 Xterras and Frontiers. So, and I look at the 300ZXs, like the Z31 300ZXs, just because motor and engine parts. So yeah, there you go. That's part of the reason why I go, is for finds like that. My buddy ended up finding a really nice factory, not factory, but a actual real Hurst shifter on a Chevy 1500 with the mounts and everything, and the shift ball still on it. That was $20. I mean, come on, you can't go wrong there. Some of the stuff I've paid, you know, $4, $1, 50 cents, whatever. I mean, it's just, U-Pullets are great deals if you pull your own stuff. Just, you know, if you go, bring a small screwdriver, Phillips head, flathead, a little pocket screwdriver for popping connectors, 10 and 12 millimeter sockets, and pliers, and maybe a saw blade, and you know, just stuff like that. Just simple stuff like that. It's enough to be able to take apart quite a lot. If you want to do more, you can bring 13, 15, 17, and 19 millimeter sockets, all the way up to 22 if you want. That'll afford you to be able to get a lot of stuff out. And I bring a pry bar as well. So, in other news, so down here, ta-da! We have my new tires for the green truck. These are the Sumitomo HTR ASPO2s that I like. I went with these again because the set that I'm taking off of the green truck is still pretty good after close to 10 years of being on that truck. So, and that's just summer driving, by the way. But still, they're not dry rotted. They still ride really nice, even though they sit around quite a lot and everything. So I decided to go with these again because I'm impressed with the performance on them, plus for the price. You really couldn't argue with it and everything. So you're probably wondering what this AR62 is doing sitting here. And this one over here as well. Well, actually, all of Red's wheels are here because I went to my storage garage last weekend and fired Red truck up real quick, drove it out, jacked it up, put 4 rollers on it, and took these wheels off. These wheels are the ones that I was talking about. These are the AR62s, 15 by 8. These are going on the green truck. These are green truck's new wheels, and the slots that I showed you in a previous video, those are Red truck's new wheels as well. So what's happening is we're peeling these tires off, you know, like this one, and then down here we got the 2 Mickey Thompsons, right? Sorry about the camera. We got the Mickey Thompson Sportsmans right here. So those are coming off, and everything's getting put on the slots when I get the slots back from the machine shop. These tires right here are going on these wheels right here. So in case you're wondering what it's going to look like, these are the same size tires. This one here is the same size tire as what we have in this stack here. So that's how it's going to look. That's how Green's tire is going to look. It's not a huge profile, but it's not a real paper thin profile either. And you can see, if I look to the side here, you can see that they have a decent amount of tread width. So you can see that that's going to be a nice wider ride. We're going from a 205 to a 215. And I just got to polish up these wheels real quick again because, you know, they were on the Red truck and they got the crap beat out of them last year with me driving that truck everywhere and using it to haul everything. So I'm just going to give them a quick wipe down, a wax, and I think these are going to look fantastic on that truck.
That's all I got. Besides, I did purchase two 3-foot white CB antennas to put on Red Truck as well. That's going to replace the 1 4-footer that's on there, because I think the two swinging around is going to be kind of funny and obnoxious, and people are just going to be like, what the hell's going on with this truck? But I like that. So anyways, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in, and hopefully I can make a little bit better camera work in the next video here. I'll have another video for you hopefully this coming weekend about what we got done on the white truck, if I'm able to succeed at what I'm trying to do. And I'm hoping that I get my slots back from the machine shop in the next few days here. They've had them for 2 weeks already, so you know, I'm giving them a break. It takes time. This stuff takes time, and I mean, that allowed me to save up some more money, so it won't hurt so bad when it comes to paying them. Anyways, leave me a comment down below, and thanks for tuning in, and thanks for subscribing, and don't forget to check my Instagram, which is all underscore lowercase rainmaker underscore D21. Got a lot of stuff going on over there. So thanks guys and gals, and have a good one.